Hello there, thank you for joining in on my 365-day note writing adventure. My name is Anna Delman. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning for ongoing encouragement, a very special welcome to you as well. Day 323, and my note for today, I've written quite a bit of it on the whiteboard, is being a friend, and I thought about that yesterday, being Resurrection Sunday. And as I shared yesterday, without the resurrection, our faith is empty, it's fruitless, it's pointless, there's no value to it. If we understand that and we grasp onto the truth of that, we know that accepting that reality and that truth for our lives, we have the ability to change biblically into who God has called us to be as His children. Now, being a friend is very important. Showing friendliness to others is essential. Therefore, my note for today, as said, being day 323, is as followed. Being a friend, what does it require of me? And once I've explained all of what I want to share with you, my note is, let's get busy living. What practical steps? Choose your thoughts. And then I started off with Romans 12, verse 2, which we have covered a whole lot over the past few months. If you think that you're so set in your ways and you keep rehearsing these things to yourself, in fact, you are the worst friend you could have. You're not kind to yourself, you're not gracious to yourself, you don't give yourself compassion, you just downright hard. You can change that. The resurrection power enables you to do so. So let's take a look at Romans 12, verse number 2. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And you can continue reading. It will encourage you greatly. I have quite a few scripture verses to cover today. If need be, I will swing back to them tomorrow. But essential. Now, when you are changing your mindset and the way you think about your life and your circumstances, remember the little kindnesses you show people along the way. You never know when you're going to reap the rewards for that. I have explained previously that I went through years of very negative health. I'm not all the way back yet. There are niggles and wiggles, etc., that I'm still trying to work through. However, when I arrived back here, not referring to the icky church experience, I got involved in disability organizations, intellectual impairments, and I did a lot of work on behalf of those needful people in representing, advocating on their behalf. However, I needed to get around very quickly, and I don't know the city very well, so I used a private taxi service, a private driver that worked for a very well-established company here in this city. And I was always respectful of my drivers. Although I was paying them to take me to and from places, I treated them as though they were serving me. And I was kind, respectful. I know all about their families. I got to know them. I did that for maybe 3 years. I didn't use the service every day. I used it sometimes in one day. I'd use them 3 or 4 times to hop from one place to another across the city. And sometimes I would do that 2 or 3 days in a row and then not need them for the next week. But I got to know them. And when you are friendly and kind and gracious and respectful of other people who are not in your normal circle, they remember you. This past week I was out shopping, and we went to a main tourist area. There's a hotel at the top, and there's this very upmarket grocery store at the bottom. And I walked in, this man kept staring at me, and I knew him from somewhere, but I didn't want to just go up and start talking, because what if I got it wrong? And then eventually he came up to me and he said, "Do you remember me?" And he said his name. And of course I did. I gave him a huge big hug. And I said, he was surprised that I remembered all the stories about his son, how gifted and talented this kid was, and where he is today. Friends, you've got to, when you're out there, you never know when that sweet acknowledgement of your character is given to you. Now, that's not the reason you do it. Don't expect a return. You do it because it's honoring the God who bought you with a price. You're transformed by the renewing of your mind. The resurrection power has given you the grace, the faith, to step forward and make those changes, which I know you can, because I know I have as well. So I shared Romans 12 with you, and you may say, well, what does it look like? If you want friends, be a good one. Are you a good friend to you? Friendly, change your atmosphere. Your atmosphere starts in your heart, your soul, your mind, how you think about life. Now, I've already told you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then let's go to, what should you be working on? Let's go to Philippians 4:8. And we've quoted this verse, and I've shared it with you a whole lot over the past 323 days. And so I'm going to share it with you again, and you ought to memorize it and remember it. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellent, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things, and then continue to read so that you can be edified even more on what you should be working out in your life, because it is true and it's real, and those changes can happen. So why is that important? So that's within yourself. Are you being truthful and kind to yourself? Are you beating yourself up so severely that you're not able to even function in your day, that you know that you messed up some in life, or circumstances happen beyond your control, yet you blame for it? What is true about that? Friends, look at things logically. Be gracious and kind to yourself first. And then from the overflow of your heart, the mouth speaks, you will start resonating with those around you. So let's look at Proverbs 17, and it says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. And then you continue reading as well. A friend loves at all times. Love those around you. Like, for instance, the driver I spoke of. He was one of a crew this company had of maybe about 12 drivers, and they would work different shifts, maybe even more. My goodness, I got to know the whole lot of them, because camaraderie and respect and encouraging other people, that's what we're called to. Let's take another look at Proverbs 27 verse 17, and it says, iron sharpens iron. When you're encouraging other people and you are putting them before yourself, you are sharpening them. You are giving them the stimulation, the encouragement they need. Iron sharpens iron. What about you? Are you reading the Word of God and allowing it to resonate and sharpen your acumen, the transformation by the renewing of your mind? We need to work on it. For instance, Resurrection Sunday. I woke up early in the morning and I washed my face, slapped the dress on I had the day before, and before I got too busy, I didn't even think about it. I needed to do my YouTube thing, and I did it, and then I rushed outside to work in the garden before taking a shower and cleaning up for the rest of the day. That was a kindness to myself, because I'm being a friend. I'm respecting and appreciating those things that will give me the change in my atmosphere, that will allow me to enjoy the sun, enjoy being out there and seeing what God created, listening to the birds, seeing ladybugs on my plants. And of course, we have mongoose here, and if you have critters that dig things up, they're cute, but I don't like them. But they're cute, and they're around, and I accept them. I ring my pots in chicken wire to try and keep them out, and sometimes they're crafty. Change your atmosphere, change your mindset. Another book I'd like you to take a look at is John 15 verses 13 through 16, and it says the following: this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father and have made to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you. If that's not enough to transform your mindset, together with what I shared yesterday about the resurrection and faith, my goodness, you need to read these and study them and ponder them. Think of them deeply. So let's take a look at another book in the Bible, Colossians 3, and starting at verse number 12. Put on then as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassion, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another. Do you put that on for yourself when you think of yourself? If you're not putting that on in your mindset, your renewed, your transformed mindset, and you're not changing your atmosphere by getting up and doing something different in your day, go sit out on a bench somewhere and enjoy the sun. If you're able to and it's safe, take a walk around the block. I walk up and down sometimes and I count how many steps I'm taking to get some outdoor activity that I'm not always indoors on my rebounder. Still cannot do anything more than the health bounce and keeping my feet flat, but I'm working at it. And you can too. Get out there, do something. Change what you're having for breakfast. Do something different dramatically so that the remainder of your day can continue in the path. If you are so in the doldrums that you are not able to think correctly, at this moment, write down one of the verses that I have shared with you and put it next to your bed. And in the morning when you wake up, remind yourself, read it, and think, my God is faithful. Another thing I'd love for you to do, what a friend we have in Jesus. You know that old hymn? Sing it to yourself. Remind yourself what a privilege it is that we can carry everything to him in prayer. Are you alone? Or do you have him with you that you can cry out to him, Lord, what a friend I have in you. All my griefs and pains to bear. Friends, that's what being a good friend to yourself looks like. And holding yourself accountable. If you've been rotten, if you've been mean and unkind, you work through it. You deal with it. And you honor God. You apply the Philippians 4:8. Until tomorrow, take care and God bless. And I will be back again on day number 324 for some more ongoing encouragement. Bye-bye for now.